If you've been injured as a result of medical malpractice and want to hold the doctors accountable, watch this video because I'm going to explain to you how to win your case and get as much money as you can. When it comes to any lawsuit, okay, there are three elements that are required to win. The first is somebody has to be at fault or they have to be negligent. The second is that negligence has to cause an injury to you. And the third, somebody has to have the ability to pay for the damages that were caused. Usually that's the insurance company. Medical malpractice cases are no different, but they are more complex, they're more difficult, and they're harder cases to prosecute. So the first thing that you can do to increase your chances of winning that case is get a copy of your medical records as soon as possible. Attorneys can request medical records, but when we do, the doctor's antennas go up. And usually that's because they know they did something wrong. And there will be resistance to providing an attorney medical records. They have to do it. Eventually they'll do it, but they don't necessarily do it right away. You as the patient are entitled to a copy of your chart and all relevant records. It will be quicker, it will be cheaper, and it is less likely that those records will be doctored by the doctors to cover up their mistakes. So if you get your records at the outset, you got a big head start on your lawsuit. Once you have those records, go get a second opinion, which is the number 2 thing that you can do in order to win your medical malpractice case. Take your records, go to another doctor in the area that you suspect malpractice. If it's failure to diagnose cancer, you're going to go to an oncologist. If it's an orthopedic injury, you're going to go to an orthopedist. And if it's a neurological injury, you're going to go to a neurologist. So get your records and go to another doctor, explain to him what happened, and get an opinion. Find out what happened, find out if the other doctor screwed up, and use this doctor then to sort of treat you and hopefully correct the mistakes going forward. Now, a lot of doctors are hesitant to criticize other doctors. So there is no surprise there, but it does not hurt to try, and you're going to want to get a second opinion anyway because you want to get better and you want to get the condition taken care of. So get a second opinion, and this is valuable in so many ways. First of all, as I mentioned, it's to your benefit. It's to your benefit as the patient who's been injured to get better. So get a doctor that's going to get you better. If we proceed with a case, this doctor who's giving you a second opinion will be able to, 1, testify as an expert and say that the other doctor screwed up if he's willing to do so. Again, not all doctors are willing to do that. But if he is, you have an expert, and you'll have a doctor who is able to come to trial to testify regarding your prognosis. And if your injuries are significant and if they're permanent, you are entitled to receive damages for future medical expenses and future pain and suffering up to your life expectancy, right? And that life expectancy is provided in a book called the New York Patent Jury Instructions. And a jury will be told that they can compensate you for future damages over the remaining life expectancy. So if you go and get a second opinion at the outset with your medical records, you will have a doctor that hopefully can provide what's called an affidavit of merit, meaning that when an attorney starts a lawsuit, they have to speak to a doctor that says the case has merit. And if your second doctor who gives you the second opinion supports the case, that can be done. And you have a doctor that now we can call at trial to talk about your prognosis and your future damages. So that is significant. The third thing you want to do is hire a qualified medical malpractice attorney. There are a lot of attorneys out there that do personal injury. They have a general practice. They do general negligence. And they will take a medical malpractice case because they think it's like the others. They think the damages are significant and they think they can take it, and the insurance company is going to settle the case eventually. That is not the case. The insurance companies know what attorneys and what firms handle medical malpractice cases. They know what firms and what attorneys try cases, and they will hold it against you and your attorney if they know that that attorney is not qualified to handle your medical malpractice case. So it is significant and as important as anything else that you hire an attorney who handles medical malpractice cases, because that is going to increase your chances of getting a good settlement and winning the case at trial. Otherwise, you will be out of luck and your attorney will be scrambling to either refer the case out at some point or to hire trial counsel. And if they didn't work up the case properly, they can hire the best trial attorney in the world, and it's not going to matter. What matters is how the case is worked up, how the pleadings are prepared, how the depositions are conducted, especially of the doctors, and having a qualified attorney being able to go to trial on the case. And again, the insurance company knows what attorneys handle these cases and what attorneys don't. So it is to your benefit to get the attorneys that handle these cases and that do them well and that have solid reputations, because that's going to get you a maximum recovery. And that is without a doubt. And the best thing is, those attorneys don't cost anymore. The retainers are the same. It's all on a contingency fee. And on medical malpractice cases, the fee is a sliding scale. So it goes at 30% and down to 10% depending on what the recovery is. So the better result, the less of a percentage that the attorney is going to make. So it is not to your benefit to hire an attorney because they all cost the same, and you want to make sure that somebody is qualified to do it. Medical malpractice cases, as I mentioned earlier, are tougher and they're more difficult. One, because the burden of proof is higher on a medical malpractice case as it is in a general negligence case, because bad care is not the standard. A doctor, you can get bad care but still lose your case. A doctor is not required to provide good care or outstanding care. The standard of care they're required to provide to you is acceptable care. And acceptable care is determined by the doctor's peers in the community. So if other doctors say that the treatment would have been okay and that they could have done the same thing, not that they would have done the same thing or they should have done the same thing, but if what he did was acceptable, you're going to lose your case. You will lose your case. So that is why it is important to have a qualified malpractice attorney who knows how to address these issues, who knows what the burden of proof is, and knows how to prove your case and your damages. So follow my advice, get your medical records, get a second opinion from a good doctor, and hire a qualified medical malpractice attorney. If you found this information useful, hit like on the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 1-855-Rizzuto. We are happy to speak to you. We are happy to answer any of your questions. And if we can't help you, we will find somebody that will.